Hello, I'm Finlay and you're watching the Run For YouTube channel. In this episode, we're going to be talking through the changes to the Nike Pegasus 41, how they fit and what they're best suited to. Hope you enjoy. Now, the main change to the Nike Pegasus 41 is the new full-length ReactX midsole. In comparison to the previous model, which featured React foam, this delivers 13% more energy return. Now, obviously the midsole looks quite different as well. However, Nike hasn't stated as to whether or not this adjusted sculpting and new look to the midsole has any functional benefits out on a run. Nike spoke to a lot of everyday runners when they were designing the upper of the new Pegasus, and this led to a lot of focus and a very clear brief on making it as comfortable as possible. Nike stated that the upper is now lighter and more breathable. There's a new Dynamic Midfoot Fit system that ties the laces to an internal midfoot band, and that increases encapsulation and support around that area. In terms of the fit, the midfoot just hugs your feet and feels absolutely brilliant. It is really comfortable in that area of the shoe. The forefoot offers an accommodating fit. It doesn't fit overly wide or too narrow, so it should fit a lot of different foot shapes, and these fit true to size, so you should pick your normal running shoe size in the Nike Pegasus 41. And coming back to the midsole, just to confirm, like the previous edition, there's still an air zoom unit in the forefoot and there's also one in the heel. The sole purpose of this air zoom unit is to increase energy return so you can enjoy more responsiveness and even more propulsion from the midsole. And this Nike technology is something that we're going to see more of in the future, most notably in the Pegasus Premium, which will release at some point in the future. Like the last edition, these are designed to deliver a protective yet responsive underfoot ride. And that means the Pegasus are likely to feel best on your steadier pace runs. Of course, they're more than cushioned enough for some easy miles. It's just in comparison to a softer shoe, the Pegasus won't slow down the speed of pronation as much. So that might lead to you feeling like your muscles and joints have maybe worked a little bit more on those easier miles. So that's again going back to the point why they're likely to feel slightly better on those steadier pace runs when you're just maybe moving with a little bit more purpose. And just coming back to that point, if you try and pick up your pace in a softer feeling midsole, you might find that your feet are just sinking a little bit in the cushioning and you're just lacking that energy return that you need. So that's really the main benefit of the Pegasus midsole, is it's going to respond to those injections of pace and make it easier for you to maintain that steady effort. And while this isn't obviously going to offer the energy return of something that has a plate or a partial super foam in the midsole, it will be responsive enough to cope with some like slightly quicker efforts and even some light tempo runs. So that makes it a really versatile option for those types of runs where you're looking to pick up the speed, but you're not maybe going crazy fast. It's worth noting that some runners just simply don't like the feeling of ultra plush feeling running shoes, irrespective of whether they're running at a slow or steady pace. And while so many models are getting softer and softer, the Pegasus retains that responsive underfoot sensation that ultimately will work for both slow and steady pace runs, whether they're short or long in distance. If you are looking for a softer, plusher underfoot feel, then the Invincible are the way to go. They feature a much higher stack and a full length ZoomX midsole, so they offer a much softer and bouncier underfoot than the Pegasus. However, if you are looking for that protective yet responsive underfoot sensation, then that's when the Pegasus are going to be the better alternative than the Invincible. In summary then, the Pegasus 41 delivers a protective yet responsive underfoot sensation that should adapt well over a range of paces and distances. You could rotate these with a higher stack, softer alternative for most of your aerobic miles, but equally some runners, as we've touched on a lot through the episode, just don't like that higher stacked midsole. So if you're looking for something that offers a lower stack but will perform for those long distances and those easy runs and steady pace runs, then the Pegasus 41 are going to be one of the best options that you could look at. But alternatively, if you maybe use a higher stack, softer model for those slow pace runs and those long, slow miles, but you want something that feels a little bit more energetic for your steadier efforts, then that's when the Pegasus 41 would be the perfect option within your shoe rotation. And that brings me to the end of this review. We hope this helps you understand a little bit more about the updates to the Nike Pegasus 41 and what they're best suited to. However, if you have any questions about anything mentioned in this episode or what the Pegasus are best suited to, then please comment below and we will get back to you as soon as possible. You can also head over to the Run For It journal and read about this review too. If you enjoyed this episode, please make sure and hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. We will see you soon.